defenseman in Phoenix, and shots on goal tonight wide in favor of Kansas City.
Well, I tell you, like we mentioned, Kansas City getting a lot of shots on Andre Trefilov. Trefilov, spectacular in that so far.
22-10, the shots here tonight. Here's the play now back of the Salt Lake net. They try and freeze it and succeed. We've talked a lot about the Golden Eagles as Ken Sabrin, mainstay on defense for Salt Lake. Just want to mention Jason Mazzotti, former Golden Eagle netminder who played last year for Salt Lake and played 52 games, has been loaned now by Calgary to the Indianapolis Ice. The Eagles will not play the ice anymore this season, so Mazzotti will be playing in the IHL with the Indianapolis hockey team as they freeze it to the right of the net. And as mentioned earlier, Scott Sharple's playing with the Brantford Smoke in the Colonial League, so Calgary still with a glut of goaltenders. We talk about Trefilov and Kidd here, and they're just trying to find places for these guys, especially with Trefilov, who's been playing so well with the Golden Eagles.
With Reese and Vernon up in Calgary with the Major League club, Calgary's got a lot of moves to make next year at training camp, and it's going to be interesting to see what decisions are made.
And they say if there's that expansion draft with Anaheim and Miami, that the teams will be only allowed to protect one goaltender, and goaltenders that have played less than 2 seasons. Here's the play now on the left wing side with just over 2 minutes to go in the second, a 2-2 game, and the Blades dump it right back behind the Salt Lake goal. Here is Kansas City trying to center one, but Thomas Forsland able to swirl at his own defense. And here is the native of Lescon, Sweden, in across the line, right side for Hafey. Zigzags into the Kansas City zone, plays it for the forward Forsland, but Kansas City just clear the puck deep into the Salt Lake zone, and Dave, under 2 minutes to go in the period, a fast-paced second stanza.
Well, the Golden Eagles right now need to be very careful, not do anything crazy out there, just play fundamental hockey.
And the Eagles, Chris Miller losing possession. Blades trying to center one at the left wing point. Sharples holds it in. Into the corner for McLean. Miller ties him up, but the dangerous Gary Emmett able to push it now back of the net. Sabrin ties up the forward for Kansas City, J.F. Quintan. Miller back of the net for Salt Lake, picks an opening, clears but not out, and finally Forsland on left wing, dipsy doodles, and then just dumps it to the blue line. Eagles can't clear the zone, and finally, with a minute 20 to go in the period, Forsland lifts it right back in. The Eagles had all kinds of problems. They were bottled up at their own defense, and now icing is the call, and the faceoff will come all the way back deep into the Salt Lake zone, and the Eagles were bottled up in their own side. Bob Francis not happy about the Blades putting on the pressure into the Salt Lake zone.
What happened to start off that play and start the confusion for Salt Lake was the defenseman Chris Miller handling the puck behind his own net, got his stick caught in between the boards, the Zamboni boards that they bring the cleaning machine on, and he lost his stick. It got caught in there, and then the stick stayed in. He had to leave his stick on the boards, and subsequently he comes out handling with no stick, and there's only four forwards as he goes behind the net, and Quintan going to make the check. He gets it caught, and he can't get it out.
Here's a long shot by Otevro going wide of the net. Ducked in front, they score. Otevro's shot, I believe, went wide of the target, and that might have been a disadvantage for Trefilov as the Blades were able to stuff it home.
Well, Otevro just jumping on a loose puck as a Karen behind the net. Andre Trefilov getting caught a little bit out of position as the shot goes high off the back, and Otevro just jumps on a loose puck and puts it in the open side as Andre scrambles to get back in between the pipes.
And Kansas City have taken a 3-2 lead. 18:54 the time, and it was Otevro that took the shot. And Kansas City, as mentioned, with the 1-goal lead. And the disappointment here, Dave, is because it comes so late in the period.
Well, Bobby Francis between periods is going to absolutely chew the players out for letting something like that happen. Very critical time in the period to let a goal be scored upon you.
Otevro's 11th of the year from Ignatiev and Scremin. 18:54 the time, and a 3-2 Blades lead as we're down to under a minute to go in the period. So, Eagles, who came into the period leading this game 2-1, now find themselves down by a goal as they try and chop it right back into the Kansas City end, and Joyce able to poke it free off the boards to center, and the Blades on the attack once more, but a 2-line offside, I believe, from inside the Kansas City blue line of the Salt Lake side of center. If you pass it over 2 lines, they'll whistle it down. Ken Sabrin, who played last year with the Washington Capitals, played quite a bit there, but this season was sent down to the Baltimore Skipjacks of the American Hockey League and prefers the air flights to the busing in the American Hockey League, and he's a guy that could play 40 minutes a game, Dave, and he wouldn't be tired. He loves to play, and he wants to be out there all throughout the game.
Well, I talked to him in the hotel before the game tonight. He mentioned that Phoenix situation with Eagles losing Darren Stoke. He just loved the opportunity to play his 40 minutes, as you mentioned.
Here's the plane across the line. Craigwell moving free. Trying to center one, but blocked off at the defense in Sabrin. Yanks a pass on left wing. And the Eagles, Struch able to clear it. Caught by Flaherty. Sets it up. Now Clark after it, but they whistle it down into the Kansas City zone. And here we go. Gillingham, Clark, Craigwell. And now Gillingham throws his stick over the top of a Kansas City player. And now it's getting pretty heated as Gillingham throws a punch back there. As the tempers are flaring right back of the Kansas City goal. And any surprise, Gillingham and Clark out there?
Kerry Clark, as Wade Flaherty tried to freeze the puck. Kerry Clark comes right in at the same instant. Referee Mike Lago blows the whistle.
Gillingham looks like a grizzled veteran there. He hasn't shaved in a few days, has he?
The Wilkinson sword man, I'll tell you. Definitely so, but that line of Struch, Gillingham, and Clark, you can't say enough about those guys because every time they're on the ice, something definitely happens.
Kerry Clark was telling me a story in junior hockey when he played for the Saskatoon Blades. He fought Ken Baumgartner 9 times in one season and Dave Manson 5, and it all started in a scramble out of the Kansas City zone. Struch came in, Gillingham and Clark, and then Clark got the arm free, and then everybody involved, Dave, right back behind the net.
Well, as I mentioned, Wade Flaherty was trying to get a whistle called on the play as he froze the puck, and Kerry Clark just come right in there, rambunctious Kerry Clark, and knocks the puck out. And as soon as it happened, Clark turned because he realized that there'd be a couple of defensemen right on him very quickly.
Kevin Constantine played goal in the Montreal Canadiens organization, played 1 game professional, and went on and decided that coaching would be better for him. And right now, towards the end of the period, do you think Kerry Clark want to get something started there? He knows it's a 3-2 game, wants to get things turned around for Salt Lake.
He definitely wants to. He's another one, player very much like Andrei Trefilov that picks the team up with some unordinary efforts out there. And Kerry Clark just trying to create trying to get a loose puck, and Wade Flaherty just was able to smother it.
We have penalties here with only 6 seconds to go in the period. The only penalties, Gillingham and Craigwell, roughing minors, so no penalty for Kerry Clark, who was in the midst of it. So just the 2 minors at 1954.
Well, the play happened so quickly, as I mentioned. Referee Mike Lago was whistling the play down at the same instance that Kerry Clark went through the crease.
Okay, the Eagles clear it right back in, and that's it. The buzzer sound signaling the end of the second, and a better one for Kansas City. Not so great for Salt Lake. Eagles' 2-1 lead is now a 3-2 Kansas City advantage through 40 minutes of play. We'll come back with more from Kansas City in just a moment. Shots in the second, shots. You're gonna, on camera with headsets, jeez. We didn't the other night with in Phoenix, so you never know. Why don't we switch sides here, Dave? Okay, but we didn't do it last game, so I just want to check. Okay.
Great.
Sit down. Oh, I don't want. I will what? Okay.
You never showed that shot the other night, did you, on our broadcast?
On what?
The Larry H. Miller one.
We used the celebrity piece.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm hooked. What do you do?
We are at Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. The score at the end of 40 minutes of play, the Blades have a 3-2 lead over Salt Lake. Welcome back, everybody. Mike Barrick alongside Dave Hrechkosy. Dave, what happened? Eagles look pretty good after one. Blades come back with two in the second.
Well, as was evident in that first period by the Golden Eagles, they were able to get up 2-1, and Kansas City stayed persistent in that second. Finally, Otevro jumping on a loose puck behind the net and just puts it in a wide open net as Andre Trefilov scrambled to get back in, and they take that 3-2 lead going into the third.
And the Eagles badly outshot, 23 shots for Kansas City so far. The Golden Eagles, 5 in the first, 6 in the second, only 11 through 40 minutes of play.
Well, right now the Golden Eagles, there's only been 2 minor penalties called, and they've been both called against the Golden Eagles. Eagles haven't had a power play opportunity tonight. There's been a lot of shots on the power play by Kansas City.
That's a factor here tonight. As you mentioned, it's not really been a rough game, a few altercations, but for the most part fairly quiet. Eagles' momentum slowed in that second period.
Well, it was just some good hustling by Gary Emmons for Kansas City as he gets some scoring opportunity. Opportunistic Gary Emmons just jumps on every time he gets a chance, he scores.
Golden Eagles on a roll, winning 4 in a row and 6 of 7. Is it hard to keep it up, Dave, when you're playing so well?
Well, there's no question that, as you say, after coming off a big series against a longtime rival like the Phoenix Roadrunners, Eagles with 2 stellar performances, and then they come here to Kansas City knowing they have 4 more games to go on this road trip. It's tough to keep yourself at that high level.
And the Blades are not the same team as a year ago, and they did beat San Diego a couple of games last week, but still not that defending Turner Cup champion team. A lot of players lost, but at the same time, Kansas City's playing better also, so the Eagles couldn't really take them lightly based on their 2 wins last week against San Diego.
Well, there's no question that Kevin Constantine, the coach for Kansas City, got to be very pleased with the recent acquisitions of John Carter, as we talked about in the pregame show, Dane Craigwell coming back. I mean, big assets for this Kansas City Hockey Club.
Well, the Golden Eagles have made some changes also. Darren Stoke is not playing tonight, but Chris Miller, acquired from the Raleigh-Durham Ice Caps of the East Coast Hockey League, has been a find on the point of the power play, although the Eagles have not had a power play tonight. And Rod Buskus now, and so all of a sudden the chemistry of the team, particularly on the back line, is changing, and Bob Francis has to be pleased. When Stoke comes back, you're going to have 6 defensemen in a pretty solid lineup on the back line.
Well, there's no question, as you mentioned, the offensive abilities of Chris Miller, and to be complemented with now the recently acquired defensive abilities of Rod Buskus. It's something that Bobby Francis is going to enjoy working with as we grind down to the end of this season for the Golden Eagles.
Well, that's the story here. We've played 40 minutes. The Blades have the lead. We'll come back and preview Larry Miller of the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, the owner of the hockey club. 3-2 Blades after 2. With or without headsets? Okay. Okay. While many sports fans recognize Larry Miller as owner of the Utah Jazz of the National Basketball Association, Settle. Live from Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri, the Salt Lake Golden Eagles trailing the Kansas City Blades 3-2 at the end of 40 minutes of play. Hi everybody, Mike Barrack back here at Kemper. As mentioned, the Golden Eagles badly outshot 23-11, and will try and come back in period 3. Well, a lot of people know Larry Miller for his tremendous success in Salt Lake City. Very visible at the Utah Jazz games and involved with so many things in the city of Salt Lake. And a lot of people don't realize Larry Miller's intense feeling about the Golden Eagles and his dreams of Salt Lake hockey succeeding in the city of Salt Lake. And we'll take a look at Larry Miller, owner of the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. While many sports fans recognize Larry Miller as owner of the Utah Jazz of the National Basketball Association, operator of a string of car dealerships in 4 western states, and developer of the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, very few realize Larry Miller is also owner of the Salt Lake Golden Eagles in the International Hockey League.
I think that there's a greater awareness in Salt Lake City of hockey and the quality of entertainment that it provides. You don't have to watch very many hockey games to really understand that it's a very fast game played by very good athletes.
Miller purchased the team from longtime sportsman Art Teese in September of 1989 in order to continue the then 21-year hockey tradition in Salt Lake City. During his tenure, Miller has seen the current IHL grow in leaps and bounds.
The league itself is now, in my mind, is kind of growing up. It's starting to flex some muscle. I think it's really earning its wings in sports circles as a high-quality league. It's immediately under the major league level, and I'm always excited by that. Just like in AAA baseball, in International Hockey League, the players have one more step to get to the major leagues.
While Miller is familiar with the glitz and glamour of the National Basketball Association, he glimmers about the excitement level of the Golden Eagles and the International Hockey League.
Most of us as lay people don't understand the pure reaction time, the speed, and the strength of these guys. And I'll tell you, these guys are, I don't know how they were 10 or 20 years ago in hockey, they are big, strong, quick guys.
Perhaps the biggest adjustment for Larry Miller is understanding the differences of owning an NBA team versus a franchise affiliated with the National Hockey League.
In hockey, all of our athletes are under contract, as well as the coaches, to the parent team. And of course in the NBA, they're under contract to us, and so it's just kind of the day-to-day relationship seems different to me. We're always thinking, is what we're doing, is what we're proposing to do or thinking about doing in the best interest of the Flames as well as the Eagles.
One of the attractive advantages of owning an International Hockey League team versus an NBA franchise is the ability to lure families at relatively inexpensive prices.
I am concerned, and have been from the beginning of my involvement, about the costs of the NBA. And sometimes I look at it and I think, how can people afford to spend the kind of money they do? I think the hockey, the affordability of it, along, again, with the speed and quality of the game, really make it a terrific alternative.
Although owning a professional hockey franchise has been a unique business venture, the former fast-pitch softball pitcher might someday lace up the skates and put on the goaltender pads.
Good job, good job. I've always said to myself, as I've gotten involved in hockey, I've said to myself, were my reflexes pitching good enough to do a good job in goal? And of course I'll probably never know that, but if they get real desperate one night and 3 guys get called up and they're all goalies and then we have another injury or 2, maybe I can put on a uniform and go try.
Well, maybe someday we will see that if the Golden Eagles get in trouble in goal. Larry Miller, not as visible at the Golden Eagle games, but let me tell you this, from speaking to him and knowing Larry Miller, he cares deeply about the Salt Lake Golden Eagles franchise. 3-2 Blades after 2. We'll come back with more in just a moment. Okay. Sure. Without headsets, right?
Without headsets?
With them? On headsets. On headsets.
Oh.
We're going to take a look at the goals here. Hurry up. So they're going to show the first goal by Emmons to tie it, and then Otevro's goal. This is the drop pass. It was a drop pass from Keene 10.
Yep.
Okay. Here's the other one.
See who made that pass. Can you show that again real quick?
Ignatieff. I think it was Ignatieff. There is no... Here. Oh, you're watching it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Ignatieff with the shot.
Yeah,
from the
Ignatieff
point.
let it fly. Right.
Okay.
Nobody knows Ignatieff or Otevral.
Hey.
I'm gonna go wait. Brian, you have the shots being 23-11 after. Okay. From Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri, in the Midwest, the heart of the Midwest, the Kansas City Blades have a 3-2 lead over the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Mike Barak alongside Dave Hrechkosy. Dave, it was a 2-1 Salt Lake lead after 20, but the Blades scored twice in period 2 to take the lead.
Well, the Golden Eagles got victimized in that second period with some good forechecking by Kansas City, enabling Kansas City to come up with some loose pucks, convert them for goals.
Well, that they did, and they scored twice in the second. As mentioned, it was the first goal by Gary Emmons after a great drop pass from J.F. Quintan.
J.F. Quintan with a nice drop pass, as you mentioned, a very quick snapshot using Rod Buskas. Gary Emmons did, blowing it by Andrei Trefilov in goal.
That tied the game at 2, and then moments later, the Blades took the lead, and it was Otevral who scored the goal after a shot from Ignatieff. Otevral just stuffed it into the short side.
Well, Ignatieff, as you mentioned, just trying to shoot the puck into the zone. Good carom off the board for the Kansas City Otevral, and he just jumps on the puck and fires it by as Andrei Trefilov got badly caught out of position, and he skated back to the net, scrambled to get in there, but Otevral just slid it by him.
Well, the Golden Eagles trailing 3-2, and one of the key statistics here tonight is the shots on goal. The Eagles outshot again in the second, 23-11. That's the key statistic here tonight.
Well, there's no question that persistency by Kansas City has paid off so far, and they're getting the bulk of the shots. Penalties so far, there's been 2 penalties called against Kansas City and 4 against the Golden Eagles.
Well, that's the story here. The Eagles outshot and not have a power play tonight, and that's a factor in the game. You know, it's interesting. You take a look at that last scoring play. Ignatieff to Otevral off of Trefilov. It was 2 years ago. You would never have heard guys from the Soviet Union and from Czechoslovakia. Now, on that last scoring play, it's the Europeans making a difference not only in the National Hockey League, but right here in the IHL. What an impact they have made throughout this International Hockey League.
Well, there's no question that, as you mentioned, that infiltration is a big plus. It's really helped the grade of hockey that we're seeing nowadays. And Ignatieff with a good, just clears that puck in, and Trefilov just can't get back to the net quick enough to make the save on Otevral.
Well, that's the story. The Blades scored twice. They lead 3-2. We'll come back with more from Kansas City in just a moment.
You know what I wanted to say? What I wanted to talk about was the Russian economy, how we're subsidizing.
Well, we can talk about that.
With the monies that are paid back to the Russian Ice Hockey Federation.
They're coming on the ice here, buddy. Brian, do you think if we win it in an exciting way, we can get that interview down on the ice? With who? Why are you so sarcastic when I come up with a good idea?
Why? Who
I have
are you
a
trying
great
to bring
idea
in?
here, and you don't want to do it. Or you do want to do it, you just want to give me a hard time. Yeah, I know. I could hear that. I hear ya.
There's Chile.
Any
Okay.
way somebody be able to fill this up with water? There's a drinking fountain right back over there. Mike Barrack alongside Dave Hrechkosy. Eagles trailing the Blades 3-2 at the end of 40 minutes of play. McCarthy and Clark for Salt Lake. Emmons a pair for the Blades, and O'Teverell the lead goal for Kansas City. Eagles trying to battle back in the third period, Dave. They've been a great team when leading or tied. Not so great when trailing, but who knows here tonight? Maybe they can come back again and squeak one out.
Well, for them, the Golden Eagles, to be successful tonight, they definitely in this third period have to get a lot of shots on Wade Flaherty in the Kansas City goal. Flaherty with only 11 shots so far through 2 periods of play. Eagles just got to muster more than that. Andre Trefilov, Golden Eagles 5-17 when trailing after 2 periods, but of late, Bobby Francis is very pleased with the way this team comes on in the third period.
Yeah, it was Friday night right in Phoenix. Eagles down 2-1 and scored twice in the third period to win it. Don't forget, Eagles return home on January 19th against Phoenix, and then following up later that week, Saturday, January 23rd, 7 o'clock. It's the infamous or famous, whatever you want, the Bikini Night at the Delta Center, Dave, and maybe you'll be one of the celebrity judges. I don't know if I buy that one or not.
Well, it makes some sort of sense, I guess.
Is that like Chili Willy, the old cartoon character there, you think?
Yeah.
Dave's out to lunch here. He's lost there. All right, here we go. Third period, a 3-2 Kansas City lead. And Patrick LeBeau able to work out of there in the center ice and stick handles into the neutral zone and dumps it right back into the Blade zone. Early on, here in the third, Eagles are trying to battle back from their 1-goal deficit, and it's dumped right back into the Salt Lake zone where Wortman has to retreat back on the left wing side for Rich Chernomaz, and Cherno has been held pointless here tonight.
Well, right now the Golden Eagles, Gary Sabrin needs to get something going on the offensive side.
And they clear it right back into the Kansas City zone where the defenseman, Coleman, able to fling it free to center, and Salt Lake Sabrin has to go back. Ken Sabrin, 27 years of age, able to play it on the opposite wing for Wortman. Brost Forsland up front for Salt Lake as it's a 4-on-4 because of those penalties at the 1954 mark with Gillingham and Craigwell late in period 2. And here is the dangerous Forsland in across the line on his backhand, pulls up trying to work it free for Chris Miller, but the pass off the mark and wound right back into the center ice area, and Miller has to retreat for Salt Lake. Here was a lead pass for Miller and across the line, shoots, and a pad save made by Flaherty, but it was offside anyway at the defense, and a penalty coming up also.
I believe that Todd Brost is going to get whistled off for interference as he interfered with one of the Kansas City forwards right on the blue line, and referee Mike Lago right there just whistles him off. The third call tonight against the Golden Eagles.
And again, the Blades were back in their own defense as Miller worked in, but it was actually Brost that gets called for the penalty. There's also it's an interference penalty in the time of the infraction, 1:15 into the third period.
Well, on the play, Todd Brost interfered with Mike Coleman, the defenseman for Kansas City, and as I mentioned, the quick infraction was whistled down.
So there's the percentage. Kansas City 0 for 2, and the Eagles have not had, interestingly enough, a power play here tonight as Kansas City trying to fling it free up the middle, and the Eagles have Struch up front to kill it off. It's right now a 4-on-3 for a total of 20 seconds. Here's Kolstedt at the left point, turning around Buskus, plays it into the corner. It's centered. Struch trying to make a play, but O'Teverell able to bang it back to the right wing point for Dwayne Joyce. Left side, Kolstedt fires, scores! Dean Kolstedt, who's not really known as a goal scorer, only his third of the year with a rocket, however, and a power play goal and a 4-2 Kansas City lead.
O'Teverell working hard in the corner, just brings the puck back to defenseman Dwayne Joyce. Joyce wastes no time in getting it across to Kolstedt. Kolstedt lets go, bullet-like shot, low on the glove hand side, about 2 inches off the ice.
Kolstedt, again, is a big, tall, rangy defenseman, and known more really for his defensive style, but with that size and strength, he can get a lot of wood on that shot, and he really did on that one. A lot of mustard and a power play goal, and a Kansas City 2-goal advantage.
With the leverage that Dean Kolstedt creates with that 6'6" frame, he just absolutely blew that puck by Andre Trefilov.
Otevero, who scored the lead goal, also an assist on that. Kolstad's third of the year, his second power play goal at 1:48. Dwayne Joyce, also an assist for the Blades, and Salt Lake trailing by 2. And so it's going to be an uphill battle for Salt Lake right now here against the Kansas City team that are on a roll, winning 2 last week against San Diego and losing in overtime against Milwaukee Saturday night. Blades on the attack once more, but it's cleared for a streaky McLean. Fires! Treffel off a pad save. And Salt Lake clear it into the neutral zone, and here comes David Struch in across the line. Stick handles gently into the Kansas City zone, but Sharple's able to play it away, and it's cleared free but not out. Struch holds it in, fakes the shot. Now on the slot on the backhand, shoots and tipped away. There were 3 white shirts in front. Good defensive coverage by Kansas City. And here is the forward Emmons, who looks for the hat trick. Works in against Struch, centers one, but Todd Gillingham able to intercept and winds for Kerry Clark on the right side. He himself just bangs it right back into the Kansas City zone.
Well, I tell you, David Struch trying to capitalize, takes a puck in on his backhand, but it just caroms off of Gary Emmons.
And here's Rod Buskus able to play it ahead McCarthy, and he winds it right back in. McCarthy, LeBeau, and Chernomaz at the line for Salt Lake. Chernomaz a weak backhand. Flaherty easily sets it up on the right wing side in Kansas City. Take over Perry Berezan in the center. 350 NHL games. Berezan pulling up at the blue line. Now curls in and shoots. Treffel off an easy glove save, and he sets it up for Chris Miller back of the net. Here's the 23-year-old Miller from Bemidji, Minnesota. On the right wing side, McCarthy kicks at it to the far side where Chernomaz in back of the net for LeBeau. Darts back of the goal. LeBeau stick handling. Waltzing in front, knocked off the puck, and the Blades clear it on the left wing side, and LeBeau couldn't get the shot off.
Boy, LeBeau trying very, very hard, and John Carter did an excellent job of tying him up to the left of the boards.
John Carter, part of that San Jose team this year with only 6 victories, said it's very disheartening up with the parent team as the Sharks have had a very disappointing second year. And it's cleared now right back into the Salt Lake zone. Courtney after it. Sabrin levels him against the boards. Courtney in deep for Kansas City. Centers one, but nobody home. A good scoring chance for the Blades.
Excellent job, Otevero, getting that puck out in front, but Andre Trefloff redeflects that puck into the wide open neutral zone.
Blades clear at the center, and Holden able to wing it right back in. Eagles down here by 2 and need a goal here to turn things around. As the Blades just clear it free on left wing into center, and Sabrin backpedals at center and backhands it on edge into the Blade zone, and a stoppage of play into the neutral zone. 4-2 Kansas City. This is Salt Lake Golden Eagles hockey from Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri.
They got a pretty good late arriving crowd in here, really.
Did they announce the attendance yet?
We brought him in here, didn't we?
What is it? Mike Barrick alongside Dave Hrechkosy, our producer tonight, Brian Douglas. We want to thank the crew here in Kansas City, Missouri, bringing this back to KXLV and Channel 14 in Salt Lake. We are on the Golden Eagles Radio Network, All Sports Radio 106.5 The Score, and KLO in Ogden, Utah. Here's Wordman's shot deflecting one. Eagles have been badly outshot, only 12 shots on Flaherty all night long, and that's part of the reason they're trailing here tonight by 2. Eagles control at the right wing point. Wordman, his shot caroms wide, and Kansas City doing a tremendous job defensively, limiting Salt Lake, and the offense is the Salt Lake Golden Eagles, who have not lost in regulation to the Blades this year, trying to center one, but Kansas City's McLean able to play it to free in the center. Eagles dump it right back in, and Emmons on the cross-ice pass down the left wing side. Here is JF Keaton, who scored 74 points in Kalamazoo 2 years ago, dumps it in front. Eagles bounce it away, and Nicoluk on left wing. The rookie just slides to center, and Kolstad, who scored that lead goal on the right wing side for Joyce, and the Blades just dump it in deep into the Salt Lake zone.
Well, right now, Kansas City doesn't want to do anything fancy, and all they're doing is playing basic fundamental hockey.
That's dumping and chasing, just like the Eagles have done tonight, and now Kansas City playing the Salt Lake game as they just keep it in deep into the Salt Lake zone.
Well, Kansas City electing to go with that style of play, being up 4-2.
Eagles trying to muscle it free on the boards on the right side. Trailing here by 2 as they kick it along the boards to the right of the Salt Lake net. Clark, Holden, Craigwell after it for Kansas City. There's a penalty coming up as Scrooge after it. Now Clark starting to flail away, and now we have a scrap right along the far side. Kerry Clark in the midst of it. I believe it's the player Berezan for Kansas City, and they're all in a heap right along the far side. Kolstad in the midst of it also for the Blades. Big Dean Kolstad and the linesman in a separate on the far side. It may have started with Berezan, but ended with Kolstad. Kerry Clark being escorted away to the dismay of the fans here in Kansas City.
Well, just maybe a little tiny bit of frustration on the part of the Golden Eagles. Paul Holden on the boards and Craigwell getting away from Kevin Workman, and all of a sudden Struch, and here goes Kolstad.
Yeah, it was Clark and Kolstad there. As you mentioned, it started with Berezan and then ended with Kolstad, who came in, and Rich Chernomaz going to take a look at the penalties as well. The score, 4-2 Kansas City. We'll take a break here from Kemper Arena. This is Salt Lake Golden Eagles hockey. We do have Kids Night. You might want to drop it in and put a real quick graphic. Kids Night, February 19th. Okay. Mike Barrick, Dave Hrechkosy from Kemper Arena in Kansas City. The Blades with a 4-2 lead will have penalties. Chris Miller and Rod Buskus at the Salt Lake players bench. Chris Miller looks up to say, what the heck's going on here? Who's going to have the power play? The Eagles have not had one all night long, Dave, and that's going to be the key right here as Mike Lego, who is from Victoria, British Columbia, will sort things out at the penalty box area.
Well, Mike Lego realizing at this juncture of the game that he could have something serious as far as a brawl or some over-aggressiveness break out, and Lego not electing to let anything go on, quickly makes the calls.
Well, the Blades pick up 2 minor penalties for roughing, and I think the Eagles will gain a power play, all at 6:09. I believe Berezan and Kolstad for the Blades, Clark for Salt Lake, and the Eagles will gain a power play out of this. Clark the rough, Berezan and Kolstad the rough, and Salt Lake with the man advantage, Dave, for the first time in this game.
We're very lucky on that play, the Golden Eagles are, that the Kerry Clark didn't get called for an aggressor type penalty, instigation or intimidation, whatever way you want to call it. But the power play for the season, 35 goals for the Golden Eagles, opposed to 204 shorthanded goals against. Golden Eagles have given up 5.
Face-off now at center. Chernomaz, McCarthy, and LeBeau as the Eagles against the Blades penalty killing unit, ranked 10th in the league. So a chance for Salt Lake to take advantage of a weak penalty killing team, as you mentioned, Kansas City. And Chris Miller on the right side for Chernomaz. McCarthy and LeBeau, the other forwards, as Chernomaz slides for LeBeau. In against Coleman, backhand right through the goal crease and wide. Eagles, McCarthy trying to hold on. McCarthy for Chernomaz yanks it free. They still try and poke it to the right of the Kansas City goal. McCarthy back of the net, pound it, yanks it for Chernomaz into the corner. Blades trying to clear it on the boards. Wortman pinching for Salt Lake, gets away from Coleman, hands McCarthy, centers. Miller's shot blocked away, cleared to the blue line, and then whipped by the Blades all the way down.
Well, it's critical for the Golden Eagles to get set up in the Kansas City zone. Too many quick passes. You've got to show a lot of patience to be successful.
And Chernomaz gliding down the right side. Stick handles with LeBeau as the trailer, trying to work it free. It's fought for to the left of the goal. It squirts free. McCarthy on the boards, trying to keep it in deep, succeeds, but it bounces crazily in the slot. Cleared, but not out. Wortman steals, shoots high over top of the net. Boy, Wortman let go a cannon into the Blade zone. Now McCarthy behind the net. LeBeau holding on to the right wing point for Chris Miller. To LeBeau on the far side. Eagles wheel it free. LeBeau to the point for Miller. His shot deflected right through the goal crease, but nobody home, and Craigwell backhands it outside the blue line. 22 seconds left of the penalty. 12-12 left third period. Salt Lake trailing 4-2, and on the attack, Wortman breezing into the Blades end. Bangs it behind the net where Harris for Salt Lake trying to hold on. Harris now behind the net for Forsland. Hafey after it also. At the right point, Buskus for Salt Lake. Bangs it behind the goal. That's just about going to do it on the penalty. Blades Berzan is back on, and Kolstad, and the teams are at even strength. And on the right wing side, Hafey able to zigzag to center, then slams it in deep and races after it himself along with Forsland. As the Eagles desperately trying for this next goal to cut the lead to 1. Hafey centers but tipped away, and the Eagles, Dave, a little bit more able to get aggressive into the Blades territory.
Well, there's no question that the Golden Eagles are getting more aggressive, as you mentioned. They're turning up their level of play at least 2 notches.
And the play cleared right back into the Eagles zone with 11:16 left. The Eagles did have the puck in the Blades zone and the puck possession, but only one big shot on Flaherty with that man advantage. The shots here, 25-13, and the faceoff will come back into Kansas City territory. Todd Gillingham would like to start something here to get the Golden Eagles to within 1.
Well, I'm sure Todd Gillingham's going to want to, get something, as you mentioned, offensively positive going for the Golden Eagles. Kevin Constantine at this juncture just trying to say, how are we going to hold on and get this victory?
No question about it. Here in Kansas City, they've had some interesting things happen over the last couple of years. Dave, I don't know if you heard about it, but when Doug Sotar was coaching 2 years ago, he threw a trash can on the ice, and the next season they had a trash can contest. Fans had a chance to win prizes by throwing trash cans on the ice.
Well, that reminds me of a situation that happened when I was in the NHL in New York and playing with St. Louis. Nick Fotil threw his skates in the garbage can on the ice.
What was that all about?
Well, he just got so mad at the referee, and he took everything off in the penalty box and just threw everything on the ice.
Here's the play on the right wing side, and Gillingham backs it up behind the net. Salt Lake trailing by 2. The Blades scoring the only goal in a power play by Kolstad here in this period, and Kansas City's Evans, who scored a pair, beats Quintin, and on goal, shoots Treffel off a glove save, and then he himself trying to play it, but not out. Emmons steals, trying to center one, to the point it goes, and fanning on it, he whipped on it, was Ignatieff. But fortunately for him, Emmons keeps it in deep, cuts in the slot, shoots, and Trefloff gets a piece of that, and Clark to the left wing side, backhands on edge to the blue line, and Scremin has to go back. So a dangerous scoring chance as Quintin was allowed to waltz into the Salt Lake zone.
Boy, little Gary Emmons, a little buzzsaw from Winnipeg, another Winnipegger.
You had to bring that up, didn't you? Here's Prost able to flip it right back in. And the Eagles, Nikoluk in deep to forecheck. Eagles, Forsland on the boards is checked also. And the Blades take over with 10 minutes left in the game. A 4-2 Kansas City lead. Here's Courtney on the right side, just slides it right back and actually deep into the Salt Lake zone where Rod Buskus has to go back. Left wing side for Miller, clearing free up the middle, but the Blades keep it in deep, and Salt Lake really being bottled up at times in their own end of the ice. Here's the play at center, and Salt Lake's Forsland has to regroup, and Kansas City doing a great job of standing 3 men up at the blue line. But Salt Lake break free to center is Chris Miller for the Golden Eagles. In across the line, knocked down, but Forsland steals, shoots in a pad save. Flaherty at the last moment, he was able to get the pads together and stack neatly into the Kansas City goal. Now the Blades wind it for an icing into the Salt Lake zone with 9:20 left. 4-2 Blades in the lead. Bob Francis looks on in dismay. We'll come back with more from Kemper in just a moment.
Pretty good.
You like that, didn't you? It could have been. He's just keeping it a game. Who's on him there? Holden? Holden, I think.
Or Chris Miller. Chris Miller.
No, that's Holden.
Yeah.
He got by Miller, I think, but... Mike Barrick with Dave Hrechkosy earlier. A break for J.F. Quintin. Holden was all over him, and Trefilov makes a great glove save.
Super save by Trefilov as he plays the angle well, and J.F. Quintin, as you mentioned, getting roughed up a little bit by Holden, just couldn't make the real good shot. Trefilov comes up big with the save.
Eagles need something here. They have McCarthy, Chertomaz, and LeBeau as the forward line, and they freeze it into the far corner, and McCarthy battling with Berzan, who gets his stick up, and you don't want to get that guy upset with you because he's kind of a sleeping giant there, Dave, and when he gets mad, he'll throw him with the best.
Boy, I tell you, big Dean Kolstad comes in to quiet down the little giant, Sandy McCarthy.
McCarthy, 112 minutes in penalties for Salt Lake, adding to that, scoring the goal tonight, his 12th of the year, and he just threw down the Blades player there into the corner.
Well, I tell you, Perry Berezan's got to wonder, hey, did I need this to come down to the minors and play in Kansas City and have that happen?
Here's a play in front of McCarthy, and he partially fanned on it in front. He was set up, he came in late, and just misfired. Eagles now to the side of the net. Chernomaz, back of the goal. Salt Lake ferociously trying to score a goal to cut it to within one. But the Blades control on the right wing side, and it just dumped all the way to the Salt Lake blue line where Wortman, twirling, clears it. Stolen by the Blades. They try and dump it in front, but Paul Holden paws it down at his own defense. And Holden able to clear it free to center, and the Blades just dump it right back in. It's interesting. Kansas City's the home team, but they're playing solid defensive style hockey, almost like a road game for them.
No question, that's a style of play that the Golden Eagles usually play when they're on the road.
Here's Chernomaz now. In across the line. His pass for Forslund off the mark, and the Blades break back. In across is McLean. Shoots, and he missed the target low to the stick side. McLean out of the college ranks, played at the University of North Dakota. And the Blades take over again, and Jeff Sharples on the left wing side, playing it free across for Emmons to the slot for Quintin, but the Eagles, Tim Harris all over Quintin, cleared in the slot. Emmons now pirouettes, backhands it behind the net with 7:48 left in the game. Eagles down 4-2, and the Blades looking for their 15th win of the year. Puck is loose now back of the net. Harris muscling up with a Blades player. Emmons, and then finally it squirts to center, and Jeff Sharples from Terrace, British Columbia, able to clear it to center. And this is the first time Sharples has played against Salt Lake, and wound right back in. So the Eagles need something here. Up front, Hafey and Forslund, along with Clark. Here's Clark barrels to center. Just unable to clear it to the blue line, and the Blades did a nice job of standing Salt Lake up at the blue line.
Well, Kerry Clark trying to get something going positively, and Claudio Scramman just stands him up, as you mentioned.
Here is Hafey now bottled up. Finally, outlets for Gillingham as the Eagles down by 2. Unable to get any scoring cracks on Flaherty. And the puck is cleared now deep into the Blade zone. Flaherty out to play it himself. Clark in a forecheck. Scremin able to pound it on the boards on left wing, and Holden keeps it in deep. Yanks it behind the net for Gillingham. Scremin trying to make a play. Scrooch after it also, and finally Kansas City take over. Otevro slides into the neutral zone, and Clark backs it in deep. Eagles change up. Here comes McCarthy. Gillingham and Scrooch up front as the Blades take over on left wing. Cleared but not out. McCarthy steals in with Scrooch. Centers on a delayed penalty as Lego going to call one perhaps against Salt Lake as Gillingham into the corner, battling with Kansas City's Ignatieff to the left of the net. 6:28 to go. Blades up by 2, and this is Salt Lake Golden Eagles hockey.
Supporting Gillingham on Ignatieff.
Mike Barak alongside Dave Hrechkosy. The penalty, Todd Gillingham, a boarding call at 13:32. Gillingham, who hails from Labrador City, Newfoundland. And he's far away from there and far away from the action now as he's in the box. Kansas City on their 4th power play, Dave. 1 for 3 so far.
Well, Kansas City Golden Eagles have done an excellent job on the power play, killing the power plays. Braden up front, the forwards do a lot of confusion.
And Paul Holden for the Eagles clears, but it's knocked in offside at the defense with 6:10 left in the third. 4-2, Kansas City in the lead. 3,561 the attendance tonight. 3,561. They've had inclement freezing rain during the past week, a bit of snow. And Dave, you had to come in from Salt Lake. What's happening back there?
Man, we got a lot of snow. That's all that you can mention right now, but that's real hockey weather.
No question about that. You know it's that time of the year. Here's the play now back of the goal, and the Eagles on to muscle it free. One but not out, Scremin for Craigwell as the Blades wheel it free to the right wing point for Scremin. Left wing side pass in front of the net. Trefilov the save on Sharples, who let it fly from the left wing point. Eagles not only down by 2, but still have to kill off his penalty for 122, so that makes the uphill climb even higher as Sharples let it fly from the left wing point.
Just a little dumping by Sharples, but Andre Trefilov comes up big again with a glove hand save.
Jeff Sharples, no relation to Scott Sharples, who played for the Golden Eagles last year. Face-off coming up to the right of the goal, and Trefilov's 3-game personal winning streak is in jeopardy here. The Eagles' 4-game win streak and going 6 of 7 also at the moment. Not looking great as Kansas City take over the left wing side. Jeff Sharples on this power play. Eagles have Brost and Forsland up front to kill it off as the Blades wheel it free. Long shot in front, going wide of the target. They bounce it free now for Craigwell. Right point Scremin as the Blades wheel it free on the power play. Scremin to the forward Craigwell. Back to the point for Scremin for the Blades. Hands it for Craigwell. On this power play for another 53 seconds. Puck loose along the far side. Sabrin for Forsland, and the Eagles break back. Forsland along with Brost in a 2-on-2. Forsland moving free, swirling at center, and then just overskates the puck as Scremin winds it free and across the line. Here is JF Quinten pushing in front of the net. Berezan, his shot going wide. At the right point, Scremin along the far side for Sharples. On this Kansas City power play for another 26 seconds. Eagles keeping the Blades off for the moment, but the Blades try and wheel it for Quinten to the point. Fanning on it is Sharples. He broke his stick also, and the Blades keep it in. 14 seconds left in the penalty as Kansas City trying to work it free. It's loose to the back of the goal, and they freeze it with the 4:34 left, third period. Kansas City up 4-2, and now Trefilov way out in that far side, and was not happy about something, trying to challenge JF Quinten over there.
Well, JF Quinten got a little over-aggressive in front of the net as Quinten comes out of the corner with the puck, and he takes the shot. Then he follows through and gives Andre Trefilov a slap right on the back of the glove hand. That really hurts, and Ken Sabrin just wastes no time in coming in and telling, do not touch the sacred object, Andre Trefilov in goal. Don't go after the goaltender.
And yet Trefilov was not afraid to take care of himself also as he came out.
He's Andre Trefilov during the season has showed that spunkiness. It's been a real trait of Trefilov, also known for his great leadership ability. He also gets into it when he gets the opportunity.
Face-off coming up to the right of the goal as we're down to 6 seconds left. Trevor Kidd is involved in Phoenix in an altercation with Darryl Williams, but is actually tossed out of the game in that game Saturday night at the left point. Kolstad's shot steered aside by Trefilov and up into the stand, so the Eagles kill off the penalty, but down to 4:24 left, and they're going to need a 2-goal comeback if they want to gain a win here in Kansas City. And outshot badly here, and don't forget the Eagles will return home. They will play Tuesday night to January 19th against the Phoenix, and then later that week, January 23rd, the Bikini Night, 7 o'clock, Eagles and the Fort Wayne Comets. There are still good tickets available, but always a tremendous evening and a night to remember, we expect again. And the Blades control on left wing, and Kolstad able to wind it to center and then wound right back on the left wing side. LeBeau in for Chernomaz. Snapshot just wide of the stick side. And it ricochets to the top of the circle. LeBeau trying to play it free for Chernomaz. Now back of the net. Chernomaz able to play it for LeBeau. Back of the goal. Trying to center one. Loose in front, and the Blades clear it free for Quinten. Down to 3:50 to go in the third period. 4-2. Kansas City, and Chernomaz clears it right back in. And Salt Lake needing something, a break to score a goal and maybe turn things around, but they don't have a lot of time. And it's wound to center, and Holden for Salt Lake just yanks it for Gillingham. And across the line, fires one, and a pad save by Flaherty, but Dave, no rebound, and that was a factor there.
Well, it's tough for the Golden Eagles to hope for a victory. 57 minutes being played in this contest.
Well, the score 4-2, Kansas City, and we'll come back with more. This is Salt Lake Golden Eagles hockey. Brian, if the Blades win this, do we want to get Gary Emmons for... It would take me 1 minute to get down there. I can get down there when the game's over. We got a 2-minute break. if you want to. I think it's up to you. You don't have to, but it might be, they can get the guy. Okay. Mike Barrack alongside Dave Hrechkosy from Kemper Arena in Kansas City. The Eagles, 22 victories, 17 losses, 3 overtime setbacks. Trailing here in this game and also trailing badly on the shots, 30-15, and that's a huge factor. The Blades have really protected Wade Flaherty well tonight. Here's Dale Craigwell into the Salt Lake zone, but back checking beautifully. Struch, who leads up the middle, and Clark. Headman's hold it. Dances into the Kansas City zone. Can't get the shot off. Clark backs it up for Gillingham. We're down to under 3 minutes left of the game. And the Blades clear it. Clark steals for the moment. Paws it down. Can't get the shot off. Now eludes Berezan. Knocked down, but no call. Gillingham shot blocked away. So Lake fiercely trying to keep the puck in, but finally Kansas City dumped to center. Eagles down to 2:42 left of the game to try and pull this thing out and hold it on the up wing side. Checked off into the neutral zone. They try and freeze it and succeed. That's what the Blades want, Dave, to freeze it up into the neutral zone and not in their own side of the ice.
Well, like you say, the neutral zone in the middle of the ice is the best place to have the puck when you're the team leading, and as the Blades.
Eagles in a deep to forecheck in Porcelain now. For the Eagles, Salt Lake sending 3 men deep to forecheck. That's about all they can do right now. It's cleared into center, and the Blades wind it free. The advantage here for Salt Lake, maybe more offensive chances, but it could cost them defensively. 2 minutes left of the game. Again, Salt Lake 3 men in a forecheck. Here's Miller at the left point, unable to hold it in. And Dave, at this point, you have no other choice but to throw caution to the wind.
Well, Ken Sabrin trying to get the puck and set up to get something going, gets it over to Chris Miller, but Kansas is doing a fine job of messing everything up.
And Harris ices the puck as he just was unable to step across the red line, and as a result, faceoff will come back into the Salt Lake zone. 1:40 left. Faceoff deep into Eagles territory, and not much Bob Francis can do now. Has to see if his team can get the puck out of their own end and start an offensive rush.
Bobby Francis, the coach for the Golden Eagles, got to be very showing a lot of displeasure with only the fact 15 shots for the Golden Eagles. You can't win a game. I don't care what level of hockey you're playing at. You can't win a game when you only get 15 shots on goal.
You really have to credit the Blades. They played a pretty solid defensive game there. Their forwards are coming back to check. And when the Eagles have dumped it in, Dave, the Blades have done a nice job of getting out of the zone quickly.
Well, I think the leadership of getting some of the players back from San Jose has really helped Kevin Constantine and this Kansas City Blade Hockey Club.
Yeah, the forwards are coming back, guys like Carter and Berezan, and they've made a difference here tonight. Eagles control now with 1:20 to go in the third period. Wardman overskates, Blades Quintan steals, eludes Buskus, throws a pass across for Evans, cleared but not out. Blades take over. Quintan trying to center one. Truffaloff's lost his stick again, and McCarthy on the right side. It's way off into the corner. Dumped to center with just over a minute left, and the Blades just clear it in. Truffaloff retrieves his piece of lumber, and Buskus wings it on the opposite side. Under a minute left of the game, and Truffaloff still in the goal crease. LeBeau at center ice for Chernomaz, and he plays it in across the line, but Joyce able to dump it to center. 50 seconds left of the game. Truffaloff's still in. I thought maybe they'd pull the goaltender, and the Eagles dump it into the Blade zone. Andre Truffaloff still in. Bob Francis yelling at him. Now he's ready to go. Eagles trying to work it free, and Clark into the corner. In front of the net, it's stolen. Struch a backhand. Just wide of the target. There goes Truffaloff. Cleared by the Blades all the way down. Forsland back after it, and icing will be the call with 22 seconds left of the game. I'm not sure if Truffaloff heard Bob Francis calling him. He was, Bob Francis was yelling towards the goaltender, Truffaloff, and he was real late in getting over there.
Well, Andre, a little confusion there. Andre Truffaloff just waiting to see if the Golden Eagles were going to get control of the puck, and he just skated out and really didn't make any motion to get to the boards.
And he looks up, hoping his teammates could score twice. There's an empty net. Eagles need to score 2 times here in the last 22 seconds. They pulled Truffaloff, and really a last gasp here. I've seen it before, Dave, but not too often.
That's tough. No question.
I've seen 2 goals in 10 seconds. And, again, very rarely, but, you get that quick one with the empty net, and then it's kind of like an onside kick in football. You just dump it in deep and see what you can do.
Unfortunate for the Golden Eagles, usually when 2 goals are scored in a very quick series of time, it happens in the middle of a contest. It doesn't happen when the team's pressing, because you got one team that's definitely all they're thinking about is getting the puck out of their zone, and the other team is trying to get set up, and it really causes a real even Donnybrook between the 2 squads. It's tough to get 2 goals in that quick period of time.
I'm not saying it's very likely. I'm just saying that it's happened before. The face-off will come up, circle to the right of the goal, and Wade Flaherty looks for his 10th victory of the year. Eagles' 4-game winning streak may come to a close. They had won 3 in a row on the road, had not lost since December 27th at a 5-2 setback in Milwaukee. The Blades starting to turn it around a little bit. They'd struggled. They have not had a winning record in any month this season up until the early part of January here, and coming off those 2 wins against San Diego, they're looking good. Eagles have 6 attackers: Brost, Chernomaz, Forstman, and LeBeau on the points, Wortman and Miller. And the face-off will come up deep into the Kansas City zone, and Brost against Craigwell. Eagles try and win it free, and that takes off another second here as they rule it was dropped unfairly. We'll do it over again. And Bob Francis sends out Todd Brost. Shows you the confidence that he has in Brost on the face-offs, Dave, here in the waning moments of the game.
Todd Brost, for credit, excellent face-off man, and every opportunity that Bobby Francis in any tough situations.
Rich Chernomaz, I believe, is calling for the extra second put back on the clock. He rules it was, I believe, Dave, that it was dropped unfairly, and they should not have taken that extra second off the score clock, and I think they're going to put it back. There's 21 seconds left now. They're going to go back and put it at 22, and that's why I believe Lego skated over. We'll see if they put the time back on the clock, and yes, they have. So Cherno gains a second for Salt Lake, and rightly so, because they weren't able to get an opportunity off the face-off.
Well, that's part of the...
Eagles win it. Miller at the point. His shot blocked in front of the net. In chance, Forstland. His shot and a skate save made by Flaherty. Now there's 14 seconds left. Wortman unable to hold it in. That's going to do it. Wortman into center. Bangs for Chernomaz. Flips it right back into the Blade zone. 6 seconds left. Flaherty trying to sweep it free. Forstland after it. And that's going to do it. The game is over. The Kansas City Blades continue to play strong hockey after their wins against San Diego last week. Skate off with a 4-2 win over the Golden Eagles here in Kansas City.
Just a solid effort by the Kansas City Blades.
Well, that's the final here tonight. They out-shoot the Golden Eagles here tonight. Win it 4-2. We'll come back with the final word in just a moment. Final shots, 3rd period shots. What was it? 5 Salt Lake, 7 Kansas City. 30-16.
What's this? Got the paintbrush out or what?
Oh yeah, the makeup.
That was a good one. I mean, the game, Eagles just didn't have enough offense.
Brutal game.
What? Hey, you don't mind to have a letdown in the middle of the road trip. If you're going to lose one, you might as well lose this one.
No, because it was a TV game.
But
you don't want to lose any of the TV
In
games.
the sense of going back.
There's the final stats. Kolstad on the power play. Great pass from Joyce and Otevro.
Okay. You gonna sit down or what?
Yeah. Let's see. Eagles record. Okay. final score tonight before over 3,500 at Kemper Arena in Kansas City. The Kansas City Blades 4, the Salt Lake Golden Eagles 2. Mike Barrack alongside Dave Hrechkosy. Dave, a frustrating night for Bob Francis. Only 16 shots on goal. That has to be the most frustrating aspect for him here tonight.
There's no question when you can only amount to 16 shots when you're on the road, very little chance for a victory.
Well, the Eagles in a 3-2 game were still in it, but it was a power play for Kansas City in the third period, and it was Big Dean Kolstad with a rocket to give the Blades the insurance goal.
A rocket, to say the least. Nice pass from Dwayne Joyce across. Kolstad with a bullet from the point, and Andre Trefloff just kind of waved at that one. There was no chance at all.
Only his third goal of the year for Kolstad. That turns out to be the insurance goal as the Blades win it tonight by a score of 4-2. Eagles drop it tonight. They're at 22 and 18 on the season now with 3 overtime setbacks, Dave. And here tonight, outshot. That was the key by Kansas City in this game.
And then when not only being outshot, but Kansas City doing an excellent job for Coach Kevin Constantine.
Yep, and upcoming the statistics here, and as mentioned, the power play is a factor, so also with Salt Lake just having one man advantage chance tonight, Dave.
Well, that's a big plus for Kansas City, as Eagles just were busy killing off power play opportunities that Kansas City had.
Okay, that's the story here. The Golden Eagles drop it here tonight to 4-2. Eagles return home for a game January 19th against the Phoenix Roadrunners, and the next television broadcast on KXIV will be February 6th at the Delta Center against this same Kansas City hockey team.
Well, we wish the Golden Eagles a lot of luck as they continue this grueling road games coming up here in Atlanta. Tough road games coming up, no question.
All right, the Golden Eagles drop it here tonight. A big night for Gary Emmons out of the University of Northern Michigan. Had a pair of goals tonight for the Blades en route to their victory. 4-2 this evening over Salt Lake. For Dave Hrechkosy, this is Mike Barrack. And for Brian Douglas, good night, everybody, from Kemper Arena. The Blades win it tonight, 4-2. Big night for Gary Emmons.